So we're here with Nate, and Nate is from the Conservation Resource Alliance, and we're about to float down the river, and we had a banana in the boat, and Nate felt it very necessary to explain that we can't travel in a boat with a banana. So Nate, why can't you be in a boat with a banana? That sounds a little odd.
It's super bad luck. You never want to take bananas in your boat with you. If you are going fishing, you won't catch any fish, and that may be the least of your worries. You may flip over, you may have a catastrophic failure of the integrity of your boat. You may just have a really bad day.
So no bananas in boats?
No bananas ever in the boat.
Alright, cool. So let's float the Ottaway.
Oh, people have to eat it. Oh.
And now everyone's eating all their bananas. That's awesome.
I thought everybody knew that.
I've never heard that, but I mean, why risk it? Is that mine, the other half? Oh, no, I gave it to somebody else. Sorry. Oh, here.
What did you start, Nate? No bananas in the boat.
I feel like I'm doing a public service.
This is not working.
You gotta go up ahead, honey.
Yeah, this thing.
Okay.
You can see how beautiful this river is.
We're gonna go watch your head there, Kevin.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, it's Nabish. Nibi, meaning water. It's pretty cold water as well. I'm very blessed because in front of me I've got my girlfriend, and behind me I've got a competition canoeist, so I'm pretty comfortable here sat with my camera, which isn't waterproof.
Are you good paddling by yourself?
I am. Yep, I'm good. Just keep her handy in case you have to push the bow.
Push
us away from something.
It is a pretty fast river, but it's really clear. If you look, you can see.
It's got a reddish brown tint to it because it flows out of cedar swamps at its headwaters, so it picks up tannic acid from the conifers that grow in the swamps.
So you guys, I don't know if you caught that, but it was saying the reddish colour is coming from the fact that it flows from some cedar swamps, and that's the reddish coloration is from tannic acid. That grinding noise was nothing to do with us hitting a tree. Nope. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better guide at all. Not only is he a great paddler, but he also knows a lot about the river and has been involved. How long have you been involved in this project, Nate?
Since 2006.
Since 2006 he's been involved with the project, so that's 11 years now.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big tree down.
Yeah. This is big, deliberate or not deliberate, this piece? This
Natural.
is just natural. So this is how the river deals with itself.
That's probably the worst corner of the river.
How many people you think will flip over today?
Yeah, the scenery is outstanding.
So you can see to the right there, the banks are vertical, and that's because when the dam was in place, the water impounded the river to that level. So
Okay.
you can see that as we get closer and closer to where the dam was, the banks get more and more vertical. And they've vegged over very well, and have stopped eroding as much as they had when we first completed the project. So that's good stuff to see. There's a tremendous seed bank in these sediments along the riverside.
Yeah, because we're going to get up to when we get up to the impoundment, guys, you're going to see, which is when we're going to enter the relic channel. that would originally have been a huge pond, and you're going to see the difference there, and how quickly, because that was only taken out 2012, so in just less than 5 years.
Yep. October of 2012, so it'd be about 4.5 years.
Just over 4.5 years, a little bit longer. You're going to see how quickly nature has replaced itself. So one of the main problems with having the impoundment as it was changing the temperature of the water, was it not, in the river? Which is the ecology of a river is very dependent, if I understand it, on having a cooler temperature. Warm temperatures for rivers are not beneficial for the native fish. Is that?
That's true of cold water rivers, because there are rivers that that are naturally warm. The rivers that are this cold are very rare globally, and so that's why it makes it so important to get these ecosystems reconnected and restored. Because, as I said, the cold water systems are very, very rare globally. We have a tremendous resource in this region because we have sandy soils, and our rivers are fed by springs primarily, and so that's why it seems like they're a dime a dozen, but they're really not.
So this is a pretty unique habitat for many different things. In respect to the area, you would not. You don't have many rivers like this. Correct. That have the potential to make such a big difference, and this can make a big difference on the population then of the actual.
Yeah, it'll make a difference on the species composition and the ability for native species that evolved in the river to gain a stronger toehold.
Now, will this have over time, will this have an effect on the population of species in the Great Lakes?
It could, it very well could, especially lake sturgeon, which spawn in rivers and historically spawned in the Ottaway. And by opening up the system to native fish like sturgeon, you're only going to increase their ability to take care of themselves by providing them with the opportunity to spawn where they naturally would have. Right now, a sturgeon can't ascend above Union Street Dam, and the Fish Pass project is geared towards fixing that.
Well, as you bring up the Fish Pass project, that's the final stage of the 4 dams, because 3 of the dams are going to be removed.
That's correct.
And then the others, that final one is being modified. And what you're talking about with Fish Pass, you're looking at the fact that they have lamprey right now that are blocked from being able to come back up the river.
Yep, sea lamprey.
So the sea lamprey, which are an invasive species that aren't traditional in this river, and actually do a lot of damage to the brook trout?
No, they actually are more. They're predatory. Sea lamprey prey primarily on fish that are important commercially to the tribes.
Okay, so the sea lamprey
and also sport fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
And those would be whitefish and lake trout and to some extent salmon.
Okay, so the sea lamprey right now are prevented from coming back up the river from the lake by what I would describe as like a fish staircase.
Correct.
Because the lamprey aren't able to go up a vertical of 18 inches or more, I think it is.
18 inches is the standard.
Yeah. But this fish passage that they're going to be putting in is kind of a world's first, because in layman's terms, it's going to be a fish sorter. So you're going to have almost like a a maze, if you like, that certain fish are able to come back up the river, the ones that need to get back up river, because there's certain fish that come up the river to spawn, which I believe are the sturgeon.
The sturgeon, and there are native species of sucker that spawn in the spring as well.
Okay.
And so what the biggest problem is you have all these species that spawn at the same time as sea lamprey, and you want to prevent sea lamprey from spawning, but you want to pass these native fish. And so that's kind of the silver bullet. If you can solve that issue in the Great Lakes, whoever comes up with that is going to be a very famous person, or a team of persons, because it's really been a conundrum for many years since the sea lamprey first made it on the Great Lakes stage.
Right, so it's not only is this the largest dam removal project in Michigan, it's also the first time the Army Corps of Engineers and a federally recognized tribe have been the co-management of an operation. They're co-managing the phase 2, which we'll see a bit later on. They've just started the siphons to start to draw down the second dam, which is the Boardman Dam. So we're going to pop over there and I'll show you that later on, guys. But not only that, with the fish passage, they've had scientists coming from all over the world who are looking at solving this problem of allowing the correct species back up the river to spawn and preventing the ones that they do not wish. So that's a really exciting thing to be part of. So, you know, people look at this as just taking a few dams out the river and what's the importance, but this has such a huge effect on everything. And
Kevin, we're going to be coming up on a saw log from the pine lumbering days. It's over on the left.
Okay.
And this was a big...
and the big stump?
You see it? No, right to your... right to the left of this boulder. See it?
Oh wow! So if you look here, guys, what we're looking at underneath this, wow! So that's one of the white pines that was originally floating down the river by the loggers. So that's what they were floating back. And how old? That would be back well over 100 years old, correct?
Yep.
And here's the chairman we spoke to. This is Frank Deturi, and he's the chairman of the implementation team for. And he's the ecologist for Grand Traverse.
Watch your leg.
So I've got the boat pretty stable. If you want to stand up and walk.
We nearly lost Frank. That would have been good. Right on camera as well. This is Kathy. This is the Ottaway. It's or the Boardman River. It's currently known as the Boardman. It was called the Ottaway. This is in Michigan, just outside of Traverse City.
See that first one though, you were all
Yeah, we're still having fun. Nobody can say they couldn't everybody except us.
Yeah, see? Good time.
Does anybody need a snack? Does anybody need a snack?
You're welcome, Kathy. So you can see how beautiful it is around here. Need a snack? This is pretty cool because this is a whole bunch of teachers from all over Michigan and actually further apart as Pennsylvania, Indiana, Ohio. Yeah. Have you been following a little bit about this project? What's been happening with the...
The Boardman, I went to the documentary.
Okay.
I watched that film.
What did you think of the documentary last night?
It was good.
Well, you have massive water issues where you're from.
start without
Not
them.
just Flint, but you have a lot of shut-offs in Detroit. I haven't had a chance to get down there and talk to people, but I know there's whole neighborhoods there that are without water because they can't pay for it yet.
And that's where, you know, again, the difficulty is that their own awareness of where it all starts from. They know when the faucet gets turned on, water gets wet. And anything else beyond that is where it's a little more, you know, difficult for them to understand. They don't see it like it.
Cool.
Where I'm at, there is no river, there is no lake that runs through our community. So like they don't see this.
That's cool. They can access it like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.